So today, I only brought one firearm with me, one handgun. This is my TX-22. Um, Never been a big fan of the Taurus, but this TX-22 is awesome, and I think that everyone should have them. I think if you look at some of my previous videos, you're going to see that I've spoken about this quite a few times. Why? This helps me save a lot of money whenever the ammo is low, or I just want to work on transitions. I want to work on draws. So I'm not worried about the recoil right now as much as I am worried about my draw speed and transition speed and trigger speed. So there's no really a need for me to waste my 9mm, which is a little bit more expensive. For example, with the LR22 or the 22 LR, you can buy 500 rounds for like 40 bucks. Okay, 500 rounds will last you quite some time, depending upon how you shoot and how you drill. So if I'm working on trigger speed, if I'm working from pulling from my holster or doing target transitions in order to save my 9mm, I'll actually use this 22 LR quite often. Okay, so my next drill, these are kind of warm-up drills. Just like with football, just like with basketball, there are things that when you go to the court or to the field, you do before you actually get started. Well, shooting firearms, particularly if you're trying to prepare for a competition, there are things that you should do for warm-ups, okay? And so I'm gonna do the build drill. The build drill is 6 shots on target within a certain amount of time. I'm not necessarily going to adjust my time on my timer right now, but I am gonna try to get 6 shots in as quickly as possible, okay? Now, typically, I'll try to do this every day, even if I'm dry firing at home. Haven't done it this week. Honestly, it's Christmas week and New Year's, so I've been a little bit lazy, got family and friends in. However, this is something that I try to do in dry firing quite regularly. Okay? Now, that should have actually locked back. And that's what I talked about in one of my previous videos, is that if the slide locks back, that's an indicator. Oh man, this is nasty. If you can look inside of that, I don't know if you can see it, but boy, this needs to be cleaned bad. So I guess that's what I'll be taking care of this afternoon. But when that slide locks back, that lets me know that, whoa, it's empty. So what do? I pull from my holster, bring it up. Okay. So what I said initially is I'm gonna do some double taps. Why? Because in USPSA competition, the paper target, you always do 2 shots unless the instructions indicate otherwise. And you always do a single shot on the steel. You want the steel to fall, basically. Okay? So I'm gonna do double taps with this, and let's see how it goes. There you go. Finally got a good one. Okay, so I did double taps. They look pretty, they started looking a little bit better. I think you might agree with me. However, the thing that I do understand is depending upon the caliber that I'm shooting, it may be a little more difficult because I'm gonna have to adjust the pressure of my grip in order to hold that gun in my hand and to minimize the recoil. Okay, so shooting this 22 is a lot easier than shooting a 9mm or a 10mm. However, the goal for me today is to focus on the trigger. Now, the reason I said the goal for me today is is because whenever you go and train, you should go with a purpose. And you have to understand that you should concentrate on doing one thing at a time. A lot of times they come together, but if I'm working on trigger speed, I'm working on trigger speed. Once I'm done, if I want to do target transitions, I'm doing target transitions. If I want to do mag exchanges, I'll do those. But the goal is to have what the Zen Buddhists would call mindfulness, the ability to do one thing at a time leads to success. Okay? Thank you very much. Have some fun, but get yourself a gun.